Hey, what's up, everyone? Coach Cole here with you, and we are back for season 8 of Sports Frenzy. And right off the bat, you're going, what? What's going on here? Something seems a little weird, a little strange, a little funny. Well, yes, I'm entitling this season premiere of season 8 as Back to Basics. Back to basics, you ask. What the heck does that mean? Well, that means 8 years ago, when Chris Bull and I started this show, we really didn't have a whole lot to start the show with. But our notepads, our discussions, our thoughts, and our teams that we were going to use for Sports Frenzy. So right now, that's kind of where I'm at with the season 8 show. Yes, you heard me say me, and you ask what the heck's going on. So let me explain to you guys. We already posted and went over it on the page, on the Facebook page. But not everybody. Well, I sent out a letter the other day too, via email, to let everybody know what was going on too. Basically, we've had a few things happen this season already. So the first big one you're noticing is Jamie Rose is no longer part of the show. Yes, we had to make budget cuts somewhere, and we just couldn't bring Jamie back. We had to let him go. No, that's not how it really went down, but the truth of the story is Jamie has a lot of other obligations and just was not able to contribute like he wanted to this season. So he has stepped down from the show. And so he was more help to me than probably even he knows. So he had been keeping a lot of the sheets and games put together for me. Whenever I needed sound effects, he jumped right into that for me and got all that taken care of. So right now I'm just going with not much sound effects and props and things like that right now for the show. Like I said, Back to Basics is the season as we're calling it right now. So and then I had every intentions of having at least a new theme song for you guys this year. However, sad to say that he hasn't really come right out and told me this, but my editor-in-chief, my son, and you guys know as my son, Isaac Cole, has pretty much stepped away from doing his editing work and stuff too. He's very busy these days as well. So, where does that leave us? That leaves us with no intro for the show right now either. I don't know. Someday he may just come back and say, "Hey, Dad, I got time to fill that in for you now." But right now it ain't happening. So that's basically where we're at with the show. Intros, outros are gone, and a lot of the sound effects are gone. Studio still remains. You still got me, 8 years strong here, sticking around, making this thing work. But you know what? The big part of all this, none of this would work if it wasn't for you guys out there helping to keep things alive for me. If we didn't have the Frenzy Nation, then this show would be pointless. So I thank you all for your continued participation, and we're continuing to add new people to the group. So special shout out to the Laura Haviland programs that are joining us this year for Sports Frenzy. Happy about and excited to hear about that. We'll continue. One piece of technology I'm actually able to keep around because I can do that. We're still live streaming the show on Facebook while we're recording it for our Friday edition. So, that part being said. So welcome to season 8's season premiere, everyone. And I'm glad to be here with you. Let's see, one thing we'll jump right into. For those watching live right now, we have Thursday night NFL action beginning. Yes. NFL is back. Regular season NFL. We got a game at 8:30, and this is a game I intend to watch. It'll be an exciting game. Should be anyway. We have Kansas City traveling to your defending champions, the New England Patriots. For those who don't know, I do like the Patriots because of our Michigan man, Tom Brady. Go Blue. But I also like the Kansas City Chiefs because they have Philly's former coach, and I've always liked him. I think he's a great coach, so I'm glad he's up there still coaching after he lost his job in Philly. So I'm hoping this will be a good game tonight. We shall see, but it's the premiere. NFL football is back. You guys might notice I premiered last night new formatted sheets. And that's one of the reasons I did that. I changed things up quite dramatically, actually, because I was having difficulties with my editing software and stuff, formatting them the old way. I just couldn't. It was getting frustrating, and it is a busy year at my job already, so to actually still make the pieces work, I basically change things, and you may see more changes in the sheets as we go along. But right now, I'm going to try this format, see how it works for everyone, and you can give me input. All my coworkers and stuff, you guys know my work email. For those of you who don't, it's tim.cole@lisd.us. Or you can also email us at it's sportsfrenzy1@hotmail.com. So if you want to use that email address. And again, we are still on Facebook, and I will post the Facebook address because it's like a huge address, but you just need approval. It'll send me a link and let me know who's asking to join, and then I just have to approve it. That's how I got the group set up right now. And we are also on Twitter, and you can find that at SportsFrenzy1. The new YouTube channel is Coach Cole Sports Frenzy. So that should be easy enough for you guys to find. There's nothing on there right now. It's actually what Jamie and I had done originally. The original Sports Frenzy page for YouTube basically was his YouTube account that he's converted over to Sports Frenzy. So that still has all our older stuff, all our old videos and things. I'll probably try to still throw up some. I think it'll be very important now to throw back some throwback stuff for the over the years of things where we began, where we ended, and where we've started again, I guess you could say. So hopefully, well, you can still get to all that stuff, but then I'm planning on still possibly posting throwback videos from the past as well. It's funny because we don't have a ton of the early footage. In fact, I mean, there isn't any real footage out there of. Well, I can't say there isn't any footage out there of season 1, but the footage we do have of season 1 is basically the stuff that at the time guest host Jamie shot and recorded. So, because I mean the show was pretty much live at the Hope Center as history shows. So, all right. Enough with the babbling for now. We will get into. I don't think I have a ton of information for you guys this week. We'll scroll and see what we can find for you guys here in just a little bit. But right now, I think we're going to jump into our games this week. And I was looking for. I thought I had a few of my props still around here. But that's all right. We don't need any props this week. All right, so I'm focusing. What I did is I'm focusing on football season right now because we all love football. Football season is what we love. And that's no knock to any of the other sports seasons, but football this time of the year is huge. And this year, I decided, just because it worked out well for me, and being that we are a sports show that is broadcast in our classrooms, broadcast in classrooms as well as everywhere else, but we have a lot of classrooms participate in this. I wanted to make sure that I covered at least all our local teams. So for the next, I don't know, several weeks, we're going to be doing football with all our local teams, as many local teams as I can get on there that are playing. And this week, a few of our local teams are actually playing each other. So that makes a little bit of a difference. And some weeks we may have more games. Some weeks we may have less games. I'm also, the way I'm doing this right now is this week, I only locked in about, let's see. Well, first of all, I'll show you the changes in the format. What I did is the numbering system. I didn't go 1 through 20. I just basically did what, however many games I had in what sports. So the top label, we're going to start with our Friday night games, and they're all NCAA games. So with those games, another camera here. With those games, I marked however many numbers those games were that we had on there. And hopefully you can read everything okay here. And I'll explain more as we get into it a little bit. But with first game of the week, we're going to start off with some NCAA football. No, we're not going to start off with some NCAA football. Screwed that up already. We're going to start off with our local high school football games. And we got some good ones this week. So our first game of the week is the Vandercook Lake Jayhawks. They have a 0-win and 2-loss record. And they are traveling to the 2 wins, 2 losses, the Addison Panthers. Now, you may have seen me posting some stuff about the Panthers on Facebook. And so the Panthers are always kind of a controversial topic. I'm an Addison Panther graduate, so, I feel like that I have a little bit of leeway about either talking good or trash talking the Panthers. Because, over the years, I've seen a lot of bad Panther teams versus good Panther teams. So, but this year, they're off to a 2-0 start. One of the big things that happened this season was the annual game between Hudson and Addison did not take place. It has been done away with for, done away with, period. And so there's 2 sides to every story. And I kind of got a little bit of both sides of the story. So I'm not going to go into all the details. But Hudson has their views on it. Addison has their views on it. So I have talked to. Actually, I really didn't get to talk to too many people from Hudson about it. I got a little bit talked to our Hudson sideline reporter, who will be returning this year, calling some of our Hudson games for us. Rich Hollowell. Shout out to my buddy Rich, who's been a good friend of mine for many, many years and is reporting in once again for Hudson when he can, when his work schedule permits. So the last couple of games, his work schedule has been pretty tight, so he hasn't been able to do as much. But that's all right, because it's kind of cool, because our Twitter feed actually has people helping out with that too. So anyway, the Addison being 2-0, they beat a relatively new team for their first game, and then they beat Manchester for their second game. And so some of the controversy is, people are saying, well, you stopped playing Hudson to get a better record or whatever. And, Addison, people have fired back with, well, first of all, that game is no more. And second of all, why shouldn't we play? Why shouldn't we be able to play a team? We get to choose a team we want to play. The schedule is a little flexible with that. Why shouldn't we be able to choose a team that we know we can beat? So there you go. And there's been a lot of controversy. A lot more controversy than I've heard in Addison in a long time. But we go into more detail on that on the Sports Frenzy page. You guys can go and check it out over there. And I may revisit it in a while. I have recently been having some vehicle problems, so I was half thinking about checking out an Addison game this week, but I don't think that's going to happen now. So, and that's another thing. You'll be seeing me do some live shows from different locations as well. Sometimes I like to try and jump on Facebook Live and cover some actual game stuff when we're there. And we did cover the field dedication ceremony at Sand Creek, so that was pretty cool. That was our first big gig of this year. So anyway, back to our picks here. I'm going to say these again because I got off, and hard to believe that even as one person I can still babble. But I can. That's probably a good trait of mine, I guess. I think I get that from my mother. Anyway, we have the Vandercook Lake Jayhawks. They have 0 wins, 2 losses. And they are traveling to the 2 wins and 0 losses Addison Panthers. Panthers are 2-0. My prediction is I feel the Panthers are going to get it done. I think the Panthers will be 3-0 before this weekend is over. And I can't tell you the last time they were. Also, from time to time, I just want to say before I move into the next game, yeah, I know you guys are going, oh no, here he goes again already. I have another friend who's an alumnus from Addison, and we call him the professor, and his name is Jeff Plum. And from time to time, he contributes to the show on Facebook page. And him and I have some great interactions together. He's a fun guy to talk to when we talk about sports. So not all of it makes the show. Sometimes we have some private conversations about things, but it's all cool. He's a great guy. So you see him contributing to the show from time to time also. So I appreciate that, Jeff. Shout out to you, buddy. All right, this next game. I have decided, well, this is a huge one this week for everybody. And this is our first 3-point bonus game of the week, folks. And I should have prepared this before the show started, and I apologize. The one thing I will have, I do have the 3-point bonus game label somewhere. So this is our first 3-point bonus game. And it's a big one. It's a rivalry game as well. We have the 2 wins, 1 loss. The Tecumseh Indians, but they are on the road, traveling to the 2 wins, 0 losses. The Adrian Maples. That's right. We have fans in both areas, so let me hear you. Come on, Tecumseh. Let me hear you, Adrian. I know Adrian's got some loud voices over there. Adrian will be cheering all the way, baby. All the way this time for this game. Oh, man. Tecumseh is on the road. They have 2 wins and 1 loss. Adrian is 2-0. That's why I made this a 3-point bonus game, because rivalry games are usually good games. It's being played at Adrian this year. Ugh. I printed these up, and I should really had my pick in place already, but I don't. So you're just gonna have to bear with me as I think about this for a minute. Man, you know, my son and my future daughter-in-law both went to Tecumseh, and I have fans of the show and coworkers that are in Adrian. I think this is going to be a heck of a game. I almost wish I could go to this game, actually. I think I'm going to give the edge to Adrian this year because they have the home court advantage. Sorry, Tecumseh fans. And that's your first 3-point bonus game. Our next game we have Madison Trojans. Not doing so hot this year. They are 0 wins and 2 losses. And this is where one of my former co-workers' son went. Janika, but her boy is not able to play this year because he's injured. But I do love their coach out there. Coach Taz used to be a neighbor of mine, so when I actually lived in Adrian. So hopefully they can turn their season around. But they are playing this game it really makes no sense that I say this. Somebody's going to come away a winner, even though both teams are 0 and 2. We have the Britton Deerfield Patriots. I'm going to give the win to Madison. I think this is the week they get it done. All right, our next game, next high school football game. Oh, you know, I forgot to say, I just assume everybody knows this. All these games are 7 p.m. kickoffs. So that's 7 p.m. kickoff for you guys. All right, we have the 1 win, 1 loss, the Whitmore Lake Trojans. They are on the road this week, traveling to the 1 win and 1 loss, the Clinton Redskins. Clinton Redskins. There's a team to talk about this season. They are not, excuse me, not in the tip-top shape they have been in the last few years. Apparently, they lost a lot of their senior class. That was really good, and they're a fresh, young, new team. And they're showing it. Not to be knocking Blissfield, but Blissfield blew Clinton out of the water last week. And this was, as far as I'm concerned, this is an upset. So that's what gave Clinton their 1 loss. So we got 2 1-1 teams going here. Clinton being young from what I'm understanding. Clinton's our local team. Boys from Clinton. I've lived in Clinton. Kids that went to Clinton school one time. I gotta believe that the Redskins are not done. That their 1 loss is not going to ruin their whole season. All right, next up, we have the 1 win and 1 loss. The Blissfield Royals. They're on the road this week with a victory under their belt, playing the 2 wins, the 0 losses. The Ida Blue Streaks. And folks, according to Max Prep's website, this is a rivalry game, which I did not know that. Blissfield coming off a huge win against Clinton last week. Ooh. I'm sorry, Blissfield. You have not made a believer out of me yet just by beating a young Clinton team. If you guys can get by Ida this week, I might jump on the Blissfield bandwagon a little bit here and support you guys. But right now, I've got Ida for the win this week. Another neat thing I was able to do so that my sheets don't it doesn't take up too many more sheets like I thought it was going to. These printed front to back for me, so these are front and back sheets, which is pretty cool as far as I'm concerned. All right, up next, we have the Morenci Bulldogs. They have 1 win and 2 losses. And they are traveling to the 1 win, 1 loss. That's right, your Sand Creek Aggies. And this, folks, is a rivalry game from way, way back. I don't know if they still consider it a rivalry game, but yes. It is a rivalry game from the olden days. I've got, because I have so much friends and family in Sand Creek, I'm going with Sand Creek for the win. And next up, continuing on with high school football, we have Erie Mason Consolidated. They have 1 win, 1 loss. And they are traveling to the red hot, my hometown. The 2 wins and 0 losses. That's right, the Onstead Wildcats are on a roll right now, folks. I'm going with the Onstead Wildcats for the win. They are 2 wins and 0 losses. This game I might actually be able to... Well, this game I can walk to, so I don't need a vehicle for it. So, if Sports Frenzy ends up covering any game this week, it'll probably be the Onstead game. Next up, we have the Red Hot 2 wins, 0 losses, Lenawee Christian, and one of my former co-workers and good friend, Melissa Morton's son, plays for Lenawee Christian this year. So I hope to catch one of their games this season as well. They are 2 wins and 0 losses. Young team that's growing into their program and becoming better. They have a challenge ahead of them, though, as they play the also undefeated, the 2 wins and 0 losses, Landmark College. And Melissa Morton was nice enough to give us some updates for Sports Frenzy last week. Apparently, the team they were playing against last week had to forfeit due to injuries or lack of having players or whatever. So that's kind of a unique situation with them. All right, folks. You thought it was going away, but I said, no way. We can't do away with that. Just because Jamie's not on the show anymore, we have to tweak the name a little bit. But we still have your Squeaker Game of the Week. Yes, sir. It's not going away. I kept it. The Squeaker Game of the Week. we are having a Squeaker Game of the Week. And this one, folks, I'm super excited about. We have the Hudson Tigers, who are 2 wins and 0 losses. This is where my buddy sideline reporter Rich Hollowell comes in. 2 wins and 0 losses. And they are traveling to Columbia Central, who are red hot this year. They are 3 wins and 0 losses. I have a friend, a coworker over in the Lower Haviland program who is one of the coaches for the Eagles. And he was I got to talk to him briefly today. Couldn't film the interview or anything because we were both working. But he is pretty excited about this season and their record right now. So, talking to him, he likes his team this year. So, it is your Squeaker Game of the Week because I think this is going to be an extremely close game. With that being said, I'm going to defer this game simply because of my 2 friends there that are on both sides. My Hudson sideline reporter and my buddy over in the Lower Haviland program who is a coach. This is a game I wish I could see, though. I really want to see this game. All right. So that's what I defer on that one. We'll see what happens. And our last high school football game of the week, we have the Hillsdale Chargers. They are 1 win, 1 loss. They are on the road traveling to the Dundee Vikings, who are 1 win and 1 loss as well. Being that we were covering Hillsdale, because we have one of the teachers over there, and actually my former supervisor is over at Hillsdale too, so one of my former supervisors is over that way. I'm going with Hillsdale for the win here. And hope they can pull it off. All right, continuing on with football season, we are moving into NCAA action, which premiered last week. Yes, and we had some good games for you guys. My favorite, I was super excited about Michigan back and playing again. Alabama had a good game. So we had some good games. Before we get into our NCAA games, we'll talk about the AP polls and the coaches polls for this year, or what's out this week. Both of these have the top 25. Excuse me, I went with the top 10. So we got Alabama at number 1. They are 1-0. That did not change for the AP polls. And Alabama is number 1 for the coaches poll. We have that team down below Michigan, down below us, in that one state that we will not mention. They're coming in at number 2 on the AP polls with 1 win, 0 losses. And on the coaches polls with 1 win and 0 losses. Next up we have Clemson, who has 1 win and 0 losses. They come in at number 3 on the AP polls this week. And they are up 2 from last week. And oddly enough, that is the same with the coaches polls as well. And they are also up 2 from that. Number 4 coming in on the AP polls, we have Penn State. 1 win, 0 losses. They're up 2 this week as well. And Penn State again in the coaches polls, up 2 as well. Number 5 for the AP polls was Oklahoma with 1 win, 0 losses. They're up 2 in the polls this week. But the coaches poll did not see it the same way. They gave the number 5 spot to USC, who has 1 win and 0 losses, and that is down 1 from last week of the coaches polls. Number 7, we have Washington in the AP polls. 1 win, 0 losses. They're up 3 in the rankings from last week. And Washington in the coaches polls as well with 1 win and 0 losses. Number 8, the team we all root for, the team we've been waiting for. That's right, the greatest college football team ever, your Michigan Wolverines. Go blue, go blue. Go Blue! Michigan has 1 win and 0 losses, and they are up 3 in the AP polls this week. And they are 8th in the coaches polls, and that's up 1 from last week. Go Blue! Coming in at number 9 is Wisconsin for the AP polls, and that is the first time they've made it into the rankings this week. But the coaches polls has Florida State, who have 0 wins and 1 loss. It's down 6. But how could they even be in the top if they still lost? I was looking at the top 25, and there's a lot of teams that that had 1 wins that are lower than Florida State. So that's kind of crazy in my opinion. You have a loss and you're still in the polls like that? Anyway, in the AP polls, Florida State is ranked 10th with 0 wins and 1 loss. That's down 7 from the previous week. But the coaches polls have Oklahoma State with 1 win and 0 losses. And that's up 1 for them. All right. So there is the top 10 of both the coaches' polls. Moving back into our picks. NCAA action. We have the 1 win and the 0 losses. The Cincinnati Bearcats. They are traveling to the 1 win, 0 losses. Your Michigan Wolverines. Go Blue! Go Blue! Go, go, go Blue! This game is on at 12 p.m. and you can watch it on ABC. That's right, Roger Schoonover. If you can put your antenna on your head and twist it around a little bit, you might be able to actually watch the Michigan football game. All right, this next game, folks, is your final 3-point bonus game. That's right. We have the 1 win and wait, no. I'm sorry. We have the I messed this one up. I'm so sorry, guys. We have the 0 wins and 1 loss Western Michigan Broncos, who fought a really hard game last week, looked good out there, but still came away with the loss. They are traveling to the 1 win, 0 losses the green team, that other Michigan team, Michigan State Spartans, who, I don't know, I think are holding their team together by a thread. I think they've had, last season they had a lot of issues. I don't know if they've had anything this season. But this is why I made this your 3-point bonus game, because I think Western Michigan is going to run all over Michigan State. That is my prediction. I'm going with the Broncos. I think the Broncos have it in them. They played a hard game last week. And Michigan State really isn't that good anymore. They've shown a lot of flaws, a lot of weaknesses. It's your 3-point bonus game. Go Broncos. I know there's some people out there that have allegiances to both those teams, so that's why I decided to make that your other 3-point bonus game, so you guys could struggle with that pick. You're welcome. All right, next up, guys, we have the Fresno State Bulldogs. They have 1 win and 0 losses. And they are playing the 1 win. Oh, I'm sorry. I forgot to tell you. The Western Michigan and Michigan State game. It'll be played at 3:30 on BTN. So you can tune that game in on the Big Ten Network. Anyway, Fresno State Bulldogs have 1 win, 0 losses. They are traveling to Alabama, who has 1 win, 0 losses. And this game can be seen at 2:30. For some reason, I have that as Central Time, so I'm not exactly sure. On ESPN2. For our Bama fans, I've got Alabama, of course. All right, next up, we are moving into some local college action. We have the 1 win, 0 losses Michigan Tech. And they are traveling. Whoa. Sorry, guys. They are traveling to the 1 win, 0 losses. The Hillsdale. Hillsdale Chargers. I've got and this is kickoff at 1 p.m. in Hillsdale. I've got Hillsdale, of course. Got a friend that coaches baseball team out there. Of course, you guys hear me talk about Coach Gordy often. So yes, going with Hillsdale for the win. Our final college game of the week. We have what do we got here? 1 win, 0 losses. Olivet Nazarene University. And they are traveling to your 0 wins and 1 loss, Siena Heights University. This game is a 1 p.m. kickoff. Siena Heights, for those of you that don't know, is the host of our Special Olympics now. So I'm going to give Siena Heights the win. No, I'm not. Scratch that. Sorry. After further review of the play, I think I'm going to go with Olivet College. Olivet Nazarene College. I know. People are going to be booing me for that one. All right. So in about, oh man, it's quarter after already. Soon, guys, 8:30 is kickoff for our first Thursday night football game. For those tuning in live, it'll be over by the time this goes to you guys on Facebook land. So if you have a bunch of tired workers tomorrow, it's because the big game is on tonight. Well, the return of return of Thursday night football. I do believe all these games are televised on local channels too, so people can actually watch the games this year. But we are moving into NFL football, our Sunday games, and I only have 2 games for you this week, guys. I have, all teams are starting off 0-0. I have the 0 wins and 0 losses, the Arizona Cardinals. And they are traveling to our new logoed, new uniformed up Detroit Lions. Woohoo! 0 wins, 0 losses. This game is played Sunday at 1 p.m. and you will be able to watch it on Fox. Can you get Fox, Scooney? Okay. Next up, we have our final game of the week is the Pittsburgh Steelers, who have 0 wins and 0 losses. And they are traveling to the 0 wins and 0 losses, the Cleveland Browns. This game is also a 1 p.m. game, and you can catch it on CBS. Reason of interest for put the Browns on here. First of all, in our local area, that's the other game that's usually always on TV. Second of all, they have a man I'm slightly interested in by the name of Jabril Peppers, former Michigan great. Assuming he didn't get cut. I didn't see anything about him being cut, but anything is possible these days. So I only went with 2 NFL games this week, and that wraps up that part of the picks edition there. But we still have NASCAR. And I gotta look this up because I did not see where the NASCAR race is this week. And I don't have it on there. I obviously must have ran out of time. So let me check this real quick for you guys. We'll do NASCAR schedule. NASCAR schedule 2017. All right. Where is our race at this week? So it is. Oh, this is a late race. It's going to be a Saturday race. 7:30 p.m. Saturday night, Richmond International Raceway. You can watch this on NBC Sports, NBCS, and it is the Federated Auto Parts 400. So there you go. That is your race this week. I continue to go with. I'm going to continue to follow Kyle Busch this year for a while, see what happens. I think he's had a pretty decent season. All right. Couple of quick facts for you guys, or things that's going on around the area. We have Little Caesars Arena had its ribbon cutting ceremony yesterday, so it would have been Wednesday for those. And they gave a tour. They had several live tours on the different stations and stuff. So I posted a couple of those on the Facebook page. I think I'm going to make this a poll question this week. I'm curious. What do you guys think? Are you excited about the new arena for the Pistons and the Red Wings? Or are you like, meh, bummer. I'd rather have Joe Louis Arena and the Palace of Auburn Hills back. Both will now be history. I believe the Palace is hosting its last event this week, I believe. And Joe Louis Arena already hosted its final event. So, yes, it won't be long. And the season will be here for hockey and basketball. Be interesting to see how that's going to work at the arena there. Anyway, looks huge. The place looks humongous. From what I mean, when you walk inside, it doesn't even look like you're inside anything. I thought it was like it's almost like a village or something like that. So, yeah. I want to know what your guys' thoughts are. I'll put up a poll on that in a little bit. Do you like what you've seen so far of the new Little Caesars Arena? And let's see what else I have. I don't really have much of anything else for you guys tonight. Other than background probably changed some. I got some stuff coming to hang up yet, and on here got some things to hang up yet. So yes, got that to do, and then we will do our recap show as usual. I have one of my favorite running back of all time, Billy Sims, is sending me an autograph card. I reached out to him talking about Sports Frenzy and said, hey, can I get an autograph? One of my favorite running backs. And he said, yeah, absolutely. All I asked for is a little contribution to my favorite charity. So we made that happen. So I have an autographed baseball card and a picture coming for our baseball card. Autographed football card coming from Billy Sims. So I'm stoked about that. Anyway, we're 52 minutes long from just me yammering about this. I think we're going to go ahead and end the show this week with that for you guys. Thank you once again, all the Frenzy Nation, for joining us. I love you all, and I appreciate you all standing with me and helping me with these transitions and time of change on the show. And we'll see you again for the recap show very soon. I'm the coach. Be blessed, everyone, and have a great night and weekend. And go blue!